Welcome to my DNA. Stupidly you want to stay with my DNA.
Well, thanks for joining me, Aviv.
Welcome. Yeah.
Now, Welcome to My DNA has been out just a couple of weeks now. How many gigs have you done to promote it so far, and how's it been received?
4 the gigs so far.
Yeah, 4.
And the reality is that we doubled the sales tickets. Sales. We just had a great show in Manchester last night. Nearly 1,000 people today. So it's great for us, and we're really happy. We feel lucky in a way. Yesterday I drove with Stephen from Manchester to London, and we just felt lucky people or band, because we're doing what we love in a way, without any compromise with the radio and plays and stuff, and it just happened, which is great.
Yeah. It's been about 3 to 4 year gap since the last album.
Right.
Is that something that you and Stephen consciously decided, or is that just how it happened?
Stephen had a great year with PT. I had a great year with my solo things. I was touring with U2 and Placebo and Brett Anderson from Suede, and I had a great year. But this time we just felt we got the strongest songs, and it was time to do it.
Yeah.
We do it with all our heart,
Yeah, I'll talk to you about the actual songs in a moment, but
Right.
there's plenty of new Aussie fans that are going to come on board with this album, I believe.
Aussie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Australian.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your musical background and who are some of your influences?
It's hard to say, because it's a wide range. It comes from the Floyd and Radiohead till Chopin, Bach, and everything really. Everything it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got a musical family too, don't you? Tell me about your family.
My family.
Yeah.
Hippie, bohemian family. Artist, which is a hard place to live in. My dad had his problems in a way. You can tell this from my songs on DNA. But family. Yeah, we like the Kennedys, but the poor version without the money. Yeah, everything is.
Is Welcome to My DNA different from the first 2 Blackfield albums? And if it is, how is it different for you?
Okay. We both believe it's the Dark Side of the Moon, the Dark Side of the Moon by Blackfield. We felt it took us 2 albums to get this perfect sound. There's a lot of freedom and a lot of love in this album. It's really mellow, a lot of melodies, but it's 2 strong artists like me and Steven doing their thing, and you can tell we're not tracing after love from the fans, it's just great album, which we're all happy.
Yeah. Do you feel a lot of the fans that follow your solo work, and also bands like Porcupine Tree, are they coming to these Blackfield gigs as well?
Yeah, it comes. Yeah, it's like a mixture. I'm bringing my emo boys, and he brings his like proggy, fans, and it's a nice mixture. It's very nice. It's very special in a way, because none of the bands sounds like Blackfield. It's really weird, but that's why I think it works. Maybe.
So how did it come to be that you were the one who wrote most of the songs? I think you wrote every song except one, didn't you, on this album? How did that come about?
Because me and Steven, we put on the table loads of songs, but we both felt that my songs fits more Blackfield, because it's not proggy, it's not like loads of parts, it's really pop rock songs. But of course Steven, he's I think the best sonic architect who can surround those songs with his vision.
Yep. Now, for Australian fans, once again, you and Stephen Wilson, I mean, you're an Israeli-based musician. Mm-hmm. How did you 2 end up getting together in the first place?
I just one day I heard his album Signify, and I called him and said, look, let's have a meeting here in London. So we had a nice meeting, and then I handed him a few of my demos, and he said that we must do something together with those melodies, and we did.
Yeah, because he lives a lot of the time in Israel, doesn't he?
Yeah, I got another place here in London. He got a place in Tel Aviv,
Oh.
so we always switch. Yeah, it's called love.
Now, assuming you put the music together while Stephen's living in Israel, but you've just told me you live in London as well.
Yeah.
Part of the time.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the creative process between you two. How does
We
it work?
refused to switch ideas through emails.
Yes.
We always physically in the same time, in the same studio. And for me and Stephen, we can, just hand over any instruments, really. I'm playing on drums, bass, guitars, keys, and so Stephen. So it was for us like a playground, just to switch instruments and totally freedom, really.
Yeah. Now, can you give me an idea of what the theme is behind Welcome to My Dino?
Me and Stephen just questioning if we feel lost in this cold war a world, because it was printed in our DNA from day one, or it's something that we both gain from our life. I believe it's in the gene, to be said, because I got like a neighbor. He will go and buy Rihanna a new album, but I'm gonna buy again the Floyd reissue, remaster. It says something,
Yeah. There is a pretty heavy song on there called Go to Hell.
Right.
Can you tell us a bit about that song?
Yeah, it's about my parents, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was a boy, I didn't have that much attention, and I got a boy called Dylan, and I gave him everything I have. So when I became a father, I saw the gap, the huge gap, and the way they desert me when I was a child, and the way I'm treating my child, is full of love, and he's actually on tour. He got his own room, now on the bus. He's traveling with me, my wife with him. So in the studio I said, Stephen, look, I must curse. So he said, just go for it, because it's so beautiful. There's no filters, just do it. And me and Stephen think it's one of the best tracks on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Yeah,
The artwork on the album,
Yeah.
I heard it was originally offered to Marillion a few years ago.
I never heard it, never.
You didn't hear that?
No.
So
I heard
it was
it.
Carl Glover?
Yeah?
Jeff might be able to. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that, knowing that it's already been offered to someone else and then taking it on? Do you have much input into the artwork yourself?
We got the better songs, so it's fine. We deserve this great image more than Marillion,
Yeah?
I'm afraid.
Well, how do you feel about the actual image itself? What does that mean to you?
For me, for Stephen, this image just worked. We had loads of ideas from the Pink Floyd artists, designers, German designers, UK designers, Israeli. But this image of the boy standing behind, above the clouds, surrounded by glasses and staring down, it just works perfectly with the songs.
Hmm. Yeah, it is a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
So you're with K-Scope, yeah? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Mhm.
So any limited editions or anything like that? Because that's been very popular with Porcupine
We
Tree,
have
hasn't it?
vinyls now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking about 7-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now, most of the tracks are self-produced. Is that the way Stephen's a producer himself, but is that the way you prefer to work? There was one track that was...
Trevor Horn.
Yeah, Trevor Horn produced that. Why was that? Why didn't you produce the lot?
Because Stephen is the best producer. I think, really. He's, for me, for my songs, this depth and mellow, he's the man. You just dig my art like that in 1 second.
So why didn't he produce that last track?
Because...
Was it just timing, or?
Yeah, it was timing, and I'm a friend of Trevor Horn, and he's a big fan of Blackfield. So we did just do like a co-producing, on this track.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for chatting.
You're welcome.
with me.
Thanks for coming from Australia.
Yeah, no problem. I hope you can come down and see us one day.
Yeah, I will, for sure. Sydney or Perth, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aviv.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.